morning, family and friends. My name is the Reverend Margaret Beard, and I serve as minister of this congregation. I want to welcome you and let you know that we're so sorry our air conditioning has broken this morning. And I want to offer an opportunity for anybody who's wearing a jacket or a tie. This would be a good time to take it off if you felt like you were going to do that. We're very casual here. So please feel free to stand up and take your jacket off. You all look wonderful. And you can also do that at any other. See, he's following the direction. That's good. I do want to say that this celebration and remembering of Leon, past, present, and future, is brought to you by a whole wide circle of people who are planning, from Anne in Berlin to folks here in town to one of our musicians from Nashville. People who are planning this in Alabama as well, planning this from many different places, and we're so glad so many of you showed up. I want to welcome you into this space that has been made sacred by your presence at this time of loss, with your spirit of love and friendship that you all bring as we gather together to remember Leon, John, Lawando, Brauer. We come together from many, many places and in the diversity of our grieving. Now, some of us hold our grief close to our hearts. For us, death is a private matter. Some of us also sit in bewilderment. How could something like this have happened? And others tear up and cry, how could he have lived such a short life? Leon's death reminds us that at any time, any of us could be this close to death, and we would not know it. We and those we love are vulnerable, and so we come to pay respects because we work with or we know someone in the family. We come together because perhaps we grew up with Leon, went to school. Part of our coming together is also to show our love and support for the Brauer family. Roswitha in England, Jürgen and Jonathan here in this room, and Anne, who is in Tübingen. Did I say it right? Tübingen, okay, Germany. And you are also here and part of the wider family that is a family by choice, people that the Brauers have invited into their lives, and I know that includes a lot of you here. Still, others of us wanted to be here and could not, and they will see the recording later this week. So if you don't know by now, we're a pretty casual church. I'd like you all to wave at our cameraman so Anne Brauer can see us all, and I'd like to say hello, Anne. So she will see this on tape later. We send our love to her.
Let me blow her a kiss.
So we gather together today in the warmth of this community to give witness to our belief that in times of sadness, there is room for smiles, and in times of darkness, there is room for light. We give witness to the knowledge that we don't know why this happened. We don't, and we never will. But we also gather together to give thanksgiving that we knew Leon and we were all part of his rich, rich life. A human life is sacred. It is sacred in it being born, and it is sacred in its living, and it is sacred in its dying. We come to honor Leon in our hearts and to hold him dear in our memory. We come to lift up all that is his life and that which he taught us. That is why we gather together today.
This reading has been attributed to the Buddha. He said, I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My actions are my only true belongings. I cannot escape the actions of the consequences of my actions. My actions are the ground upon which I stand.
Leon was a son, a brother, a friend, a diver, a citizen of the world, a speaker of many languages, and to so many people, he was a friend. He was born on November 21st, 1983, to what was at that time called West Germany, and he died on March 31st, 2010, in the Maldives. He was only 26. His African Siswati name, Luando, means the ocean. When given to him this name, he was only a baby. Who knew about his deep connection to the ocean at that time? Who knew? I never met Leon, but I do feel like I know him a bit now through the stories his family has shared with me and from the posted emails and writings that are on the website. If you have not been to that website, the address is posted in your program. Perhaps others of you could say the same thing. You might just know Jürgen and not have met him. And for those of you, so many of you in this room, who knew him, you were so fortunate, and I know you already know that. In 1991, the Brauer family moved to Augusta, and Leon attended local schools. His brother, Jonathan, related to me that as a child, Leon was very accident prone. He was the only one of the 3 siblings to break a bone, and he did it pretty dramatically. When he was 8, they visited a family's farm in Florida, and of course kicked him in the jaw. It was shattered in several places, and he had to go through surgeries and therapy, and still had a metal plate holding his jaw together. And if you are familiar with his face, the scar on his jawline is from that. He once cracked his skull while doing diving tricks at a motel swimming pool when he was only 10. For high school, he was then able to attend Davidson, and as one family member said, even at a young age, this young man was able to talk or charm his way into anything. So he got into Davidson. He was talented in singing and acting. That was his talent to get in. He decided later that he wanted to go to a regular high school, and so as a senior, he went to Westside. And after graduation, he was able to attend UGA, where he studied economics, global business, and break dancing. And when we leave the sanctuary today to go to the reception, we will be listening and hopefully moving, even some of us might be dancing, to some of the breakdance music that we will be playing that were selected by his friends and his sister. and thought he might like some of this music. Leon became a professional scuba diver, and this was an activity he learned and enjoyed with his father. And Jürgen is also a professional scuba diver. Leon taught dive instruction at Georgia Tech. He loved the water, and it really became his world. While he did work for a while in what some of us might call regular jobs, jobs that were in buildings, Leon realized that skyscrapers were not for him. So he set out to travel, learn languages, and teach diving. This is his mask, his actual mask. He ventured to a number of exotic places around the world: Mallorca, Spain, the Maldives, Dominican Republic, and later back to the Maldives. In between traveling and learning 4, almost 5 languages fluently, he would also pay attention to his grandmother, his Oma. Occasionally he would call her and ask her if she had any vacations planned. And then he would call back and tell her that he'd booked a flight to go see her in a few days. And he would stay for a week or so and then move on, telling her that he flew to Berlin just to give her a kiss. That's probably now. It's a sweet story for those of us even here. His mother, Roswitha, said that he lived in the present. He expressed great compassion to others, humans and other living things. Another person described him as an environmental defender. I can see a new action figure doll coming out saying, environmental defender. If you have been on the online guest book and read at the time that I wrote this, there's some 270 entries in the guest book. You would see how others saw him, and perhaps similar to how you saw him. And there is a theme when you read these postings. He would light up a room. He was full living, beautiful, inside and out, caring, genuine. He helped me during a difficult time, expressed deep wonder at the world, a giver of wonderful hugs, a wonderful sense of humor, having a witty take on life, patient, encouraging. These are some of the qualities. Leon could move around and move into new situations with great ease. He was an extremely controversial person. I was going to say conversational person. These are some of Jonathan's words. Interesting slip. What people describe as the kind of person that people would describe as easy to get along with or easy to talk to. Leon understood people, all kinds of people, and what to say to each person. And this probably led to him being able to absorb languages so easily. Jonathan further went on and said that Leon was a passionate person, one who gives his all to any cause or any activity he enjoys. He liked the simple life and always had very few things. Jonathan reports that when we were growing up and now, well, Jonathan confesses he's a cat rat, but Leon was a minimalist. And when Leon died, he owned 4 shirts, 2 shorts, and 3 swimsuits. All of his possessions fit into a small backpack. And then there was his dive gear, of course. This young man's future plans were also detailed in some of his private things that were found later. And here I'm going to share some of it with you. He had many future plans. His immediate projects, now underline immediate projects, were to study meditation, yoga, technical diving, sign language, and marine biology. His iPod included tracks from MIT's OpenCourseWare on animal behavior. He also had a plan to travel to South America in June to dive the sardine run. And if you don't know what that is, it is a massive feeding frenzy of sharks and dolphins. And he was training for this when he died. He wanted to see the World Cup, travel again to Thailand to spend time with his father, visit his mom in England where his ashes are at this moment, having arrived yesterday when Jurgen and I were actually talking about it. First we called and said, Leon's home, the ashes are here. And they're going to stay there until the family's able to get together to distribute them where else but the ocean. He wanted to go visit his mom and then also to go back to Berlin to study French at the language school. And this would have made his 6th language he was learning. Oh, and in his spare time he wanted to learn to skydive. In the fall, this is the same year, he planned to get a job at a French-speaking dive resort, possibly in French Polynesia. And in spring of 2011, he planned to move to Brazil for 3 months. And next summer, 2011, he had planned a trip with Jonathan, his brother, and Leon and Jonathan's childhood friend, Robbie, to hike Mount Kilimanjaro and to do a safari trip in Kenya and Tanzania. Afterwards, he planned to return to Europe to travel and to learn yet another language. He wasn't sure if it was going to be Dutch, Russian, Polish, or Chinese. In January of 2012, he would join a graduate school in Europe and begin to study Asian languages. And the last bullet point on his list was 2014, work for a worthwhile cause. Some of you have perhaps seen the movie or heard of The Bucket List. That's when 2 men who were sharing a hospital room and discover they have terminal illnesses, and they make lists and rush out to do everything they wanted to do before they die. Or, as they say, kick the bucket. Leon's list was rich and full and extravagant and doable by his remarkable track record of doing so many things. And what's so impressive to me, and something I really think about as I've gotten to know this with him and the rest of the family, is that his list was for now. His list was for his young adult years, not later at some time that we think we might die. But his list was for now. We can learn something from that. He had this list of how he would create and live a fulfilling life, but not one just for himself. It was one that included touching other sentient beings, and working for a worthwhile cause. When I spoke to Jurgen for the first time, when I met him upon his return to Augusta, and I said, "How are you doing with this?" And he said he believed that Leon had died perfectly happy, totally at ease and at peace. It's such a nice way to think of him. What a way to live. What does that teach us here now? Would that each of us lived our last days, whenever they come, perhaps tomorrow, or perhaps 40 years from now. What a better way to live. Totally at peace, perfectly happy, totally at ease. That is something for us all to think about. So today we come together to share some of the grief, and also to share some of the memories. And sharing memories in this gathered community binds us together in new ways, and that will strengthen us. This is also part of Leon's legacy. Sharing memories is how we remind ourselves of the ways Leon will live on and continue to always be a part of our lives. And so to start that off, let us now watch this photo montage that, as you can see in your program, is created by Brauer and Universalist. many seats over here, and feel free to sit in this front row. That's pretty comfortable. If you need to sing a call off, we will ask you to sing.
I'm so honored to read these words from Augusta, Leon's mother and my friend. During their long years of association, our sons called each other my brother. So, from one mother to another. Even though my heart is crying and keeps asking, why did he leave us so early? I know that this is how life is. And I feel that Leon has opened a gate for me to be more fundamentally and genuinely in touch with what life and death are, and to learn to be content and to trust their intimate and loving embrace. I thank each of you with all my heart for the beautiful person that you are. And I know that Leon lives on in us and in our connection with each other.
I'm April Wilson. I'm very honored to read these words that Anne wrote. I would love to be present with you all today, to hear your stories and share your laughter and memories. What words could I say that could mean enough, that could encompass what he is for us? We each have him in what he gave, in how he shared, in what we learned from him. We will remember him every day. I believe that my brother was an angel to many people. He gave inspiration, an idea, an appreciation of something that might have otherwise been passed by without remark. He made aspects of the world stand out. He called attention to beauty all around us. Let us continue to search for and to protect the beauty that surrounds us. Let us make aspects of the world stand out for other people. Let us live our dreams and be who we are. Let us do what we love. Let us carry his example within us, and let us share it with the world.
And some of you here today may have something you'd like to say. It could be short or medium length, or probably not long is a good idea. It might be a memory, and it might be a way that Leon has touched your life, or how it informs your future. And so I invite any of you to please come forward if you'd like to say something. And I know some people have brought things that remind them of Leon, and you're welcome to come forward and talk about those. So is there anyone who would like to share something? Good, Caleb, yes.
I'm one of those who want something. It's going to be really hard because my two kids grew up with Leon. Leon was a herdman with my kids. We did the best Christmas pageant ever here with my mom directing. It's going to be really bad. And Godspell here also at the same time. And so all of my memories come from Leon and Robbie, and it's going to be Robbie for the rest of your life. And Rhett and David and Jonathan and Ann. Being a part of the youth group and getting in trouble and having lock-ins, and they weren't locked in to the church for some reason. And somehow, things got set on fire. I don't know how that happens. I think it comes with Leon and the streak that happens when he breaks things and stuff. But those are the memories that I have, and this should not happen. We should not be here today.
I have so many memories of Leon, but I want to share one from way back when. Going to my house, I guess, or someplace to eat, or somewhere after church. Leon and John and Rob were all of an age where it was not cool to like girls or even acknowledge their presence. That possibly they were of an age where they might really, but were not about to admit it. But I think really they were just a little bit on the young side. And there was a young girl in their class that Leon was totally smitten with. And Rob and Jonathan just razzed him on the way back to the house and were just onto him. He could not have cared less. His heart was on his sleeve. And they were saying, well, what would you do if you had a chance to go out to lunch just with her? Oh, he said, I would pat her hair and say how beautiful it was and all these nice things. He was speaking just utter sincerity, just absolute utter sincerity without any self-consciousness at all. Now you all have seen these photos. You know, Leon was a beautiful child, both inside and out. And I thought, oh my gosh, and such a loving heart. And the heart is on his sleeve. I thought that child was going to have one interesting life. And he did. And the presence of all of you and all the emails that have gone around showed that loving heart and total unself-consciousness about sharing it was just his lifelong creed. We never forget that.
Is there anyone else? Oh, Duncan's coming forward. Good. Very good. Something else.
Thank you so much. I'm Brauer, for those of you who don't know me. Well, thank you for sharing this moment with us. There have been ups and downs, as you might imagine. We determined that this should be a time of celebration, remembrance, celebration, looking forward to the future. My companion Jennifer asked me that I share one story with you that shows a different kind of love. He was a ladies' man, that's true. But a different kind of love. I don't remember exactly how old he was, a teenager. Many of you who know our family know that we have a great concern and love for people all over the world and for social causes, if you will. One day, Leon came home from school. He might have been 15, 16, I don't know. And he brought a young man with him. And he said, Dad, I was somewhere out in Washington Road, and I met this guy, and he was interesting, and we started to talk. And it turns out he's a homeless person who doesn't have a home. Can you stay with us? Sure. And so this person just picked up the street, literally picked up the street just because Leon started chatting with him. He didn't know his name, nothing. So he stayed with us for about 2 weeks. And eventually, of course, I got kind of involved as well. I wanted to help the person. Turned out he didn't have Social Security papers and on. So eventually, I tried to get him his papers. And I think by the time, at that point, 2 weeks later, he was a little bit embarrassed and sort of left the home again. But that also was Leon. Just random acts of kindness, you might say, because, well, as you said, he wore his heart on his sleeve in very many respects. And that's just one illustration. On the island in which he died, the Maldives, another illustration, as very often happens in tourist resorts, people come, rich people from the United States and Europe. We spend thousands of dollars on the scuba diving vacations and so on. The resorts usually are owned by people from Italy, Switzerland, England, and the United States. And it tends to be a cultural monolithic a little bit. And the local people often are the cooks and the cleaners and they do the hard work. And that didn't go very well with Leon. And so Leon took one of the local guys and he learned a little bit of Maldivian too, language number so-and-so. And he said, how about you learning to scuba dive? So so that one day you can be a dive instructor, one day you can open a dive store, and one day you can be the owner in your own country. At first, the dive shop owners last year weren't very happy, so Leon did it kind of secretly, provided the training secretly. When he came back this year, he had convinced the dive shop owners to make it formal, and he handed that guy his dive certification. So, Muhammad Ali is a little guy, kind of funny name, because we think of Muhammad Ali, a big boxer, some tiny little Maldivian guy. And he's now a certified scuba diver. And I very much hope to be able to see him again. Maybe one day he will be a scuba instructor and own his own dive resort, the way they live their life. So it's just one of those stories.
Is there someone over here?
The allergies, debating whether to talk or not, but I never said no. I had not seen Anne for a long time, but at Christmas time she was here. So full of life and so many memories that came back. I was religious education director when Leon was growing up. Are you familiar with the best Christmas pageant ever and the Herdmans?
Yes.
Well, those were always. I never knew from one Sunday to the next what adventure Jonathan and Leon and Red and David would take me on, but it was always an adventure. I learned from them much more than I think I probably learned from them. I've always said, I've got 6 children, and I've always said I can't imagine anything worse as a child. But I heard of Leon's death. I felt I had lost one.
This might be kind of hard for me. My name is Patricia Brauer. I grew up here. So I need hugs from a lot of you people I haven't seen in like 10 years. But I grew up with Rhett and David and Leon and Ann and Jonathan, and we were always together. You talked about Leon being, a bleeding heart. He was one of my first boyfriends. We were like 11. And he brought a rose to church and a letter asking to be his girlfriend. So, we were always singing together. We were in the best Christmas pageant ever together. We were in another play we did called UU Review. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but that was a lot of fun. And it seemed like he lived his life full, and I wish I would have known today.
Stories are being shared. Is there anyone else? We're now going to move into part 2 of the photo montage.
Well, time is getting kinda late here. Oh, well, wouldn't it be great if we could put this day on hold, and I won't have to go through the dark city streets. We'll stay between these sheets, and so you say 1, 2, and 3. Baby, close your eyes and we'll fantasize. I'm just in that state of mind. And so you say 1 and 2 and 3. Baby, close your eyes and we'll fantasize. I'm just in that state of mind. And you, it's always you, whisper words to me as we fall asleep on your flower sheets. It's a promise you can keep.
Jonathan wanted me to tell you that if you think of some other things you want to share about your life with Leon, to please post them on the website. That way the family can read them and others of us can as well. So death may have brought us together today, but Leon's life is what gathered us up over all those years as he moved through our lives. Life was very much channeled through Leon's life. He exemplified life. Though our grief may be strong at times and we will mourn, we will not let the shadow of his death obscure the vibrant playful, engaging, living, loving, swimming, diving, and dancing person of Leon, who touched us many times in many ways, filling our lives with memories, meaning, and love. Leon's small and great efforts touched those who knew him. His legacy lives on through all of us here and so many others around the world. His legacy lives on in all the lives he touched, for living is what we do every day. This is why we celebrate him, to honor his life and the difference he made in small and large ways. For certain, his death is a great loss, and for certain, his life was, is now, and will continue to be such a great gift and blessing to all of us. This we do know.
Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow, or perhaps the sand on a beach near the ocean in some wonderful part of the world. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die.
We now stand confidently with life. Our strength is the strength of many. It is the strength of all humanity throughout all time, because we share one faith and we share a great compassion. May understanding go with us. May we live together in charity, compassion, peace, and joy. And in this spirit, let us individually and together go forth to live and to love. I want to thank our musicians. They were wonderful to work with. And anytime I emailed them and said, hey, could you play one more song? They would say, yeah, absolutely. We're professionals. And it was also a way of them sharing their love for Leon, and also to thank Tara, who also stepped in, and Will, who was our general all-around good hands helping guy. And this reception that we're now going to go and enjoy was Robbie's idea. He said, you know, even though that family ate pretty healthily, he loved potlucks at church because it had a lot of food that he could not have at home. I understand. So I invite you now to please dance on out of here with me, or however you're moved. Our church is one that welcomes all, and in here today, there are no wrong steps. So we'll see you in the food.
Good. How's it going?
Keep going.
Yeah, that would have been